So listen and listen attentively. This is the main thing I do when I want to cut my 6 pieces, whether it is dress or skirt. This is the first thing I do. After doing this now, excuse me, I now relax and cut my 6 pieces, and it will be simple and easier for me. So this is waist, this is hip, and this is knee, right? Get your pen and paper and note the details. This is the actual measurement. So I got from my client's body 31 for waist, 45 for hip, and 36 for knee. And this actual measurement divided by 2. 31 is the actual measurement. When you divide it by 2, you have 15 and a half. This 15 and a half is for front and this for back. This 31 is round the waist. So when you divide it into 2, 15 and a half, 1 is for front and 1 is for back. So we have that. The dart I'm using for her is 3. When folded, it is 3. Then when you unfold it, it becomes 6. So that 6 contains seam allowance for left and right. But when you fold it, it is 3 with seam allowance just half by one side. So you minus half from it, you get 2.5. Then when you spread it, you have 5. This 5 is the actual measurement for center when you spread it, and when it is on the client's body, it is 5. I hope that is clear. So on this column, we have actual measurement remainder divided by 2. So this is 15 and a half. That is the actual measurement of the front, minus 5. You get 10 and a half. Now that 10 and a half divided by 2, you have 5.25. that is 5 1/4. This 5 1/4 now is the side measurement. That is what you get on your client's body is 5.25. As you get 5 for the center, you get 5 1/4 for the side. Now you have to add the allowances. This 5 1/4 plus ½ inch, the seam allowance that you use to join it to the center pattern is ½ inch. When you now add it to the 5 1/4, it becomes 5 3/4. Then this 5 3/4 now, you have to add it 1.5. Now listen attentively. This 1.5 now stands for 1 is for shaping allowance. You know, here in Nigeria we do shape and add allowance for the shaping. So I do leave 1 inch for every of my shaping allowance. So this 1 inch now is for the shaping allowance. Then this ½ inch is for turning of the lining, because I usually turn all my linings. I do full linings for all my 6 pieces so that it will make it to look solid and to be neat inside. So if you understand this waist very well, that means you can do the hip. You repeat it also here. This is actual measurement 45 divided by 2, we get 22.5. The dart is 4 minus half, you get 3.5. When you unfold it, it becomes 7. This is the actual measurement for hip, center hip. Then the remainder of this is 15.5. When you minus 7 from 22, you have 15.5. You divide it into 2, you get 7.75. that is 7 3/4. When you add half, it becomes 8 1/4, and when you add 1.5, it becomes 9 3/4. This is what I'll get on my pattern, and this is what I'll get on my pattern. So I hope you understood me very well. Let's cut. waist is 63. I add half inch down here. 63 plus half inch lining, turning of the lining allowance. I move up. This is the knee length. 37. I move up. This is the hip length, 26. Hip line from shoulder, 26 and a half. And this is the waistline. Though her waist is 17, but I want to add band, 2 inches band for her. So I'll now add 2 inches and it will come to 16. So but 2 inches from 16 is 1, 2, which is 18. I now add my half inch. So my center is my center here is 3. I mark 3. And my hip here is 4, and I mark 4. And my knee here is 3 and a half, and I mark 3 and a half. So I have to join with free hand because I'm conversant with it, or you can use your curve if you're not good with hand curving. This is my 6 pieces. Then on the down here we have, I use it, or let me use 7 and a half. 7 and a half. Then I use my long ruler and join. I don't want the panel to be too much. That's why I used 7 and a half down there. Hope you are seeing it clearly. This is my center panel pattern. This is my center pattern. So for me to do the side, the first thing I do is to rule here, make a straight line from the hip point to the length like this. Piam. Then I put my tape again. Let's start from down because I think it's better from down. 63. Then you add half down. Then the knee line 37. The hip line 26 and a half. Then we have 18 and a half for here. So on the waist, according to our table, what we need here is this 7 1/4. So I have to measure 7 1/4 from here. This is my 7 1/4 on the waistline, and on the hip line what I have is 9 3/4, and that is what I'll get here, 9 3/4. And on the knee line what I have is 8. I use my free hand a lot. Look at this point. It's almost 15, but I don't think I want it full like that. So I'll use 13 and a half. I don't want the panel to be too big. So I use my ruler and join. You see how it is? Then I'll have to flip it over this way. You see the panel, you can see it is not that too full. I've placed the front pattern on my fabric to get the back pattern. Then the first thing I do is to add 1.5 inch. This is center front and this will be our center back. Add 1.5 inch, add 1.5 inch, add 1.5 inch up till this is the hip. After the hip, add 1.5 inch. You mark it, then here you add, make it 1. Then here you make it 1, join it. Then from here, you now take it down and get our little tail. But this one, because the fabric is not long enough, we're not adding any tail down, to just be fuller by the center back. Okay, you can see it. Then here I now make a straight line from here. This is the side, and it's gonna be the same thing here. Then at the hip side I add 1/2 inch. For the bum bum allowance. And on this side everything is the same. To the knee side, to the knee length, which is here, and from here I'll now add extra. And everything by the shipping side is the same thing. Everything is the same. You can see this is our 6 pieces.